Intro. If you know me, you will know that I love to think outside of the box. I have been researching most of my life. It's not only intellectual knowledge, yet it's down to earth wisdom. You could call it the land of the mystic, feet on the ground and your head in heaven. Be practical and yet consciously live within the jewel that lies within. Call it whatever you want, but something is keeping you alive. The same power that is keeping you alive is keeping the universe alive. This is my first introduction to Tibetan formal training that I'm about ready to embark on. It's a 16-week course. Lama Glenn Mullen is presenting this course starting July 24th. I'm looking forward to learning more about this ancient wisdom. Here's the beginning of this new journey. Maybe you might want to join in this adventure. Life will give you many signposts and synchronicities if you are open to them. I've been fortunate to be aware of this since childhood. When one is conscious of the inner doors, signposts and synchronicities are a part of your life. Remember, the more attention you pay to something, the more attention it pays to you. My girlfriend Anna and I were driving from Toronto to Vancouver, Canada. The year was 1974. We ran into Mahatma Rajeshwar and Bill Patterson along the way. They were going to do a TV interview and asked us if we wanted to come. We spent a few days there. Bill gave me a copy of a book about Milarepa. He was Tibet's greatest yogi. The Kagyu lineage still exists today. In fact, in Ashland, Oregon, there's a beautiful temple that comes from the Kagyu lineage. Bill unfortunately died about 10 years ago. He was well known for his kindness. I loved the book. I was extremely fascinated by his life. I love to meditate. It is a part of my life. I mean, an incredible part of my life. I had a knack for it. Fast forward about 48 years. I'm on Facebook and I see the interesting post, Tumo and 6 yoga trainings with Lama Glenn. I was quickly drawn to this. What a synchronicity. My mind went back to receiving this precious book on Milarepa many moons ago. Signposts are all around us. Buddha has been following me around for a long time. My parents had a Buddha statue, where as a kid I would get mesmerized by just staring at it. It took all my troubles and worries as a young child away. In my teens, I began a formal meditation practice, which I still do today. My practice is the foundation of my life. I once had a past life regression when my twin brother John, Mark Laurenhurst, and I were students of Buddha. I could see it in my mind's eye. Even today, I can close my eyes and visions will appear. Of course, I can't prove it, grin, yet the impressions are there. Milarepa is another guide. When I first read the book on Milarepa, it was also mesmerizing. I lived in Ashland, Oregon for some time, and there was a beautiful temple that comes from the Kagyu lineage. My wife and I went to the temple a few times, but never heard about how to study with them. Anyway, this is going to be an incredible journey. Both Buddha and Milarepa have been friends with me for such a long time. Once again, how can you explain that? Yet, I most certainly know that we are never alone. This journey is both internal and external. What can I say? We are all blessed. Focus on the good, not the bad. Focus on the good, not the bad. Remember, whatever you pay attention to, it pays attention to you. This is the law of life. If you pay attention to your problems, you will have more problems. I see some people complain about their miseries all day long. Their lives are miserable. Look at the Dalai Lama. What a wonderful example of someone who focused on the good. Imagine if your country was invaded by China and you had to flee for your life. You might still be freaked out by that. Yet that event has far been removed from his mind. He saw it as a blessing in disguise. Without that event, even the Western world wouldn't know about him. He never would have traveled around the world. Even among life's problems, smile at it. Look at the humor in the situation. My dear friend Guy had the ceiling fall in. Literally, this happened. Yet he knows how to be in the center of the hurricane. Yes, the ceiling needs to get fixed. Why get freaked out where if you do have to fix not only the ceiling, but your freaked out mind and body? It's worse enough for the ceiling to cave in. Why compound the problem? This is a practical path that takes practical steps of action. Only a wise man understands this. Every moment we are fine-tuning the guitar of life. The goal is to be conscious in every working moment. Curveballs will be still thrown your way. Yet even a bunt and struggling to first base is better than a strikeout. Each moment is precious. Life is not dull, yet you may live a dull life. Knowledge. Knowledge is the art and science of discovering yourself. This has been known for thousands of years. Yet in mainstream society, we are still texting on the freeway of life. Signposts are all around us. Yet we are too busy to see them. Extreme stress is predominant today. How can one discover one's true nature when we are so stressed out? The world is like a ticking time bomb. Our common sense is slowly and rapidly drifting away. When truth becomes fiction, and fiction becomes the truth, how can one acquire true knowledge? You are the universe. You just don't know it. That's the theme of this century. Yet, let's be honest, for many, It's just a cute theme. People's eyes roll when they hear that. Despite the wisdom of mystics and scientists, we prefer our morning coffee. Meditation is not for me. Yes, I get that. The world needs to wake up from its slumber. Our problems are cascading out of control. How much more sleep do you need? The world is experiencing a nightmare, yet we don't think we are a part of the problem. Truth exists inside of you. As a wise man in the past said, know thyself. There's a precious jewel within you. You are the missing piece of the puzzle. Mankind, surely we can do better than that. Mankind, surely we can do better than that. It seems like chaotic times. Where did our great wisdom go? The truth has become fiction. Fiction has become true. Distortion of facts has blinded us. Remember, it only takes 30 days to establish a new habit. That's a good or bad habit, mind you. Since the Capitol building riot, many people have distorted the truth. Some say it was only a walk in the park. Say it over and over, and this is rewired in your brain. This becomes your truth, and no practical evidence will convince you. Hundreds of laws are being passed because of a rigged election. The ex-president said it was rigged way before the election. Not one state said it was rigged. Yet today, this is still a driving force in politics today. This is the first time in our history where the ex-president has never conceded and said he lost. Mind you, Gore lost by several percentage points and gracefully conceded his loss. One side said it will do anything to stop the other side from getting anything done. That is its main mission. Then why did we vote for them with this kind of attitude? We need to look at both sides of an issue with clear eyes. Why are we so polarized? The great eagle needs 2 wings to fly. Some people think that we should cut off the left wing. That's called totalitarianism. We need both wings to fly. We need to compromise. We need to stop the name calling. We need unity. We need wisdom. We can either unite or watch our democracy fade into the night. Set the tone of the conversation. Ring, 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 ring. It's around 2:30 in the morning. I pick up the phone and wonder, who is calling me at this hour? It's my friend Mark. We somehow get into discussion of why there's so much dysfunction in our communications today. Out of the blue, Mark said, "The tone is what sets the conversation." Bingo, lights go on, jackpot. A person might have great wisdom with something to say, yet the tone sets the conversation. If the tone is derogatory, the greatest message in the world will never be received. It will be rejected. The tone is the demarcation point of the conversation. If one's tone is of love and compassion, true communication will take place. If one has an angry tone, right off the bat, one misses the mark. Both sides are drowning. Discrimination and wisdom are nowhere to be found. I could have set up the tone of the conversation with Mark with the following. Old school. What the blank 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 are you calling me at this hour? New school. Synchronicity is in the air. Let's see the lotus flower blossom. With divine grace came the answer. The tone is what sets the conversation. Simple. We don't learn that in our schools. Hey Mark, I'm still learning about snippets of wisdom. Thoughts. Where do our thoughts come from? Just think they appear, then disappear, like a thief in the night. Some thoughts seem to hang in there, like a noose on our neck. We can't shake them off. Talk to a person who has been to war. PTSD is very alive and well today. Some people hold on to anger. That son of a bitch, they'll never forgive you. That tape gets played over and over again until it creates a groove in the record of life. Buddha says you are drinking your own poison. Present-day scientists have proven this in the last 30 years. All of your thoughts are wired into your brain, neural networks, mind and body. Your state of mind and body is the state of your current thoughts. Disease is when the mind, body, and thoughts are not in easement. Unfortunately, we are not taught this in schools. We live our entire lives like leaves blowing in the wind. Mystics said the most difficult thing to do in the universe is to tame your thoughts. We train our dogs to behave properly, yet we never bother training our own minds. Take a look at the chaos all around us. Need I say more? Nobody's going to save us. We must save ourselves. It's so easy, yet so hard. Our true essence is so much more we can ever conceive, yet we are hardwired for this experience. The operating system, hardware, and software have been there since we were born. One can learn to cultivate the mind. Christ and Buddha did. Nobody gets a free ride, yet they said and proved it could be done. Christ said, "Truly, I say to you, unless you turn and become like children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven." Ponder this over. It can make the difference between day and night in your life. John Evans, rest in peace. Yesterday, I learned from my dear friend Lori that John Evans died. John was a dear friend who I haven't seen in many moons. He had a smile that could light up a room. Everyone loved John. He had that aura of charisma around him. He had his feet on the ground and his head in heaven. He loved to study the great mysteries of life. The Kabbalah was one of them. You could say he was a spiritual warrior. He fought against darkness and ignorance. That was his way. The smile could change anyone's darkness into light. When I met him, he loved martial arts. He loved to create harmony. The martial arts create great discipline, which is needed in the undisciplined world of today. He wasn't just a seeker of the mysteries, but a great knower of the mysteries. That, my friend, is a huge difference. He didn't flaunt his wisdom like a wise man. He just smiled at life. He had nothing to prove. John was a good man and a kind man. I deeply value the time we spent with each other. To his wife, I offer my prayers and condolences. John has gone to another room in the mansion of life. Yet he'll always be there with us. John knew that life is eternal. Like the caterpillar, one must someday transform into a butterfly. John now has his feet in heaven and his head in heaven. We can see him deep within our hearts. Yesterday John came to me and gave me a huge smile and a wink in the eye. He said we should all meet again someday. Give my love to my beautiful wife. Love never dies, but the body does. Love is eternal. Life is so precious. I have a theory. I have a theory that what the Buddhists call the empty mind is in reality the quantum mind. The quantum mind exists beyond all time and space. It exists in all dimensions. It exists in all the known and unknown. The Tibetans say there are 3 stages of mind: a coarse mind, a subtle mind, and a very subtle mind. Most of humanity lives in the coarse mind. A thought occurs, positive or negative, and they respond accordingly. This is like leaves blowing in the wind. The subtle mind is one who is embarking on discovering the jewel within. He lives sometimes in the center of the hurricane, and at times lives in the hurricane forces of the wind. By practice, they learn how to calm down the hurricane force of the mind. The very subtle mind is like the Buddha or Christ. They have subdued the mind, but the only thing that exists is perfect calm. They can see truly the reflection of their true nature and become it. This is the path of wisdom. All three stages work in the same manner. A thought comes in. The subconscious mind attaches emotion to the thought. Chemicals gets released into the bloodstream. Presto, you become that thought or emotion. It doesn't matter what it is. The wise man understands this process and learns to refine his thoughts and emotions. The quantum field contains endless chemicals that we haven't even conceived. This is where true harmony and true health will come someday. Quantum medicine is knocking at our door. As Tesla once said, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. The universe movie projector is creating a real-life movie that we get totally sucked in. The wise man turns around and sees that the projector is simply sending lights to the screen and producing images. Ponder this over. This may help you in your life. Arise from your slumber. Arise from your slumber. Your precious mom would say this on a school day during your youth. You're snuggled in your blanket on a cold winter's night. The fireplace was emanating sweet warmth. Breakfast was on the table so you could eat. Your mom was up an hour earlier than you, getting everything ready for the new day. Day in and day out, this precious routine would take place, even during summertime when there was no school. The days were hot, and the fan was blowing a cool breeze on your warm body. Words can't express the love your mom had for you. During the good times and bad times, she was there to support you on your journey. How much our moms sacrificed for us, yet there was never complaining. When love is there, each action is precious. We probably took this for granted. We were young and naive. Yet the older I get, the more I value my mom. My mom is still alive. I try to say hello every day. It might be a 5-minute conversation or an hour. Time is slipping away. My dad died over 25 years ago. I can only talk to him in my heart. Talk to your family and friends when they are alive. Let go of the past. Don't carry any burdens inside of you. Laugh at life. Smile at diversity. Not everyone will have the same views on life. You don't have to hate them for that. This life is such a precious journey. It's not a nightmare. At times it may seem like it. The sun is shining inside of you. Transform. The definition of transform is as follows: to change in composition or structure, to change the outward form or appearance of, to change in character or condition, to cause a cell to undergo genetic transformation. What if I told you that the wise men from the past talked about transforming themselves? This is the goal of human life. The great tools of transformation have always been there. Like any tool, if you don't use it, it will not benefit you in any shape, way, or form. Using that tool helps one to transform. We are all on the treadmill of life. The mystics decided a long time ago to get off the treadmill. By doing so, one discovers the jewel within. This path is the most practical path. One must have his feet on the ground and your head in heaven. Be conscious and aware is the key. The more conscious you are, the more practical you can be. In this video game of life, the purpose is to transform. Life gets bored playing at the same boring level. Currently, humanity is playing at the same level for a long time now. Wars have never solved anything. They have caused extreme suffering on the land. Millions of innocent people have been killed due to man's war. War is one word I would love to delete from the human dictionary. It should be struck out. Yet, it's so easy to start a war. It doesn't take much. Just a person who has a pet peeve can start one. We are pulling out of Afghanistan after 20 years. Yet utter chaos still exists. We leave the country worse off than it was 20 years ago. Each one of us can transform if we want. The only thing that is stopping us is our apathy.